Hello, everybody. I'm here in stormy West Cork, near the Drumbeck Stone Circle, in my caravan. This is where I stay whenever I travel through West Cork with my work. So I offer my healing work wherever I am, and the one-to-one soul doula work, as well as person-to-being workshops in different venues, and also Thai massages. Which also are a way of opening up certain places within our psyche. You can also do that through touch. It's very beautiful. So I really felt called after the video I took yesterday in the dark. I mean, you can't see me on that video. But that's okay. It's like just close your eyes. It's like a broadcast. And I was in the middle of I was right at the Drumbeck Stone Circle here in West Cork yesterday night when I took that video. And and I now tried to do a live Facebook video, but that didn't work. So I have to do YouTube because I think it's probably the storm. There's no connection. Yeah, and I really felt so called this morning to talk about something that for me is not out there enough, and that is very crucial for the healing of our earth, for the healing of humankind, of our human psyche. And it affects all. It affects all on earth, really, what happened between 1450 and 1750. And that was the big witch hunt. And this is really important to turn towards now. 40,000 to 60,000 witches were killed in Europe. And this is just the number of legal executions. In Germany, it was 25,000. In Germany alone. And 80% women. There were also men and children being killed at that time. And why? Why? This question is important. And as I keep saying, turn towards your trauma. This is part of it. We are part of this. It's our ancestors who went through this. It's in the psyche of humankind until we turn towards it. Every country, as every family line, every personal human, we all need to now at these times to turn towards our trauma. It is our responsibility, because otherwise our trauma will play out over and over. So I mentioned that in the video yesterday, and I just want to say this again. We are yes, humankind is turning in circles, and we can say, oh, humans are just, they're just gonna do the same over and over again, and there's nothing we can do about. No, this is not right. As the moment we turn towards the trauma, and this is new, these times are new, it's a new step in evolution of humans. Before, it was a luxury to even think about or feel our feelings. So now is the time where it really comes into the center that we have emotions, feelings, that we carry trauma, and every human carries some trauma. Let's just face it, and it's okay. Only when we turn away from it, it's not okay, because then it just plays out over and over in our world. Yes, of course, we've got choice, we've got free will, we can choose this. But do we want to contribute in the healing of Earth? Then we have to look at our own personal as well as the collective trauma. So why were at that time all those witches killed? So 80% women. What were they doing? What was it that others were afraid of? And that which had been then extinguished, this is just also the same as in our personal trauma. Whatever at that time then had to go into hiding was cut, went into hiding. These are the gems that we are retrieving. These are our gifts. This is our knowingness, our intuition. And this is also in the collective. We now collectively really need to cherish, embrace our knowingness, our wisdom, our intuition, and our 132 or 34 senses. I still haven't looked it up, sorry. I was meant to look it up, forgot. But it's on the www.birthintobeing.com page. Instead of 5 senses, we have all those senses. They've never been mentioned to us. No, all those amazing senses, dogs have them, cats have them. We just have 5. It's not true. We have those, and people are in the process of retrieving those amazing senses and gifts that we have. Many are already well on their way. So yeah, sense of time, a sense of an energy in rooms, telepathy. We are all reawakening all our senses that we used to have. And these were also the very senses and the very gifts of humankind that went into hiding at those times. In those 300 years, just imagine, 300 years. Fear was imposed of us if we had shown our gifts. This comes back now by you and I doing our work, taking responsibility of not going along anymore with what we've been conditioned to go along with. So yeah, are you ready? Oh yeah, and who else was killed at that time? Midwives. I mean, I don't know even if they were called midwives at the time, probably not. But the woman who had deep knowledge of birth and deep intuition of how to support a mother in the process of birth. What did that mean? Babies were born in fear at those times. And who, after the fear was imposed, took over, giving birth to all those babies? And who, there were doctors and hospitals being built. They were mainly men who have never given birth, who didn't have the intuition. And this really happened. So it became a hospitalized thing, and the women were left out of it. Midwives were condemned, they were killed at the time. So there are really beautiful books written about that. Sorry, not really beautiful. I mean, good books written about that, where this is really addressed. And so what does that mean if all those babies are born in fear? If there's not this safe space for mothers to give birth in? If they are not held with love and with somebody who can really remind them what to do if they lose the depth of their breath, for example, because the breath is a key for birth, as it is also for bringing back our gifts, the parts of ourselves that we have lost. Breath is key. So when everything was instrumentalized and fear was imposed onto birth, and disbelief in their own bodies and their own intuition, the mothers. Yeah. And the baby. And so the baby, the communication between mother and baby, it's not just hormonal. Yes, it is hormonal. They give signals to each other, and I'm ready too. Okay, let's go. There is a really deep connection to mother and baby. But we've given that away. We need to retrieve this. We need to retrieve our ability to hear each other from our heart, through our bones, our body, and our heart. Love. When all our senses had to go into hiding, all our gifts had to go into hiding, our heart also closed. Now let's allow it to open again and allow back those beautiful gifts of ours, our wisdom, our intuition, man and woman. And hold space for the children who still have it, and to really value and acknowledge and appreciate their wisdom, their knowingness, their intuition. And then when our hearts are open again, and we really truly hear and see each other from a deep place, feel each other, destruction can't happen anymore. We couldn't hurt another anymore because we would feel it. We couldn't even hurt nature anymore. No, because we would feel it. A lot of people already have this sensitivity, where they become really aware of the suffering of animals and plants and humans. And there's a place where we, without words, we can really connect, deeply connect to each other. We can hear the wisdom. We can hear the wisdom of the plants and of the animals. Yeah, I'm in Ireland here, so also Druidism was extinguished. You know, all those wisdoms and our ancient culture, which was still so connected to nature and to all living beings, crystals, the elements. So all that we now allow back. So, yeah. Really have your heart as a compass at these times. What feels right? What feels like, you know, also your cells, they tell you yes or no. There's so much out there. There's so much, and matters of technology, of course. There will be a lot out there, and I invite you to connect to your intuition, your wisdom, and your knowingness at these times. And I'm giving this Birth into Being workshop end of this month in West Cork. So if you're nearby, or if you want to come to travel, there's beautiful accommodation here. And Birth into Being is an amazing, powerful way to retrieve our gifts and to recode our imprints, our birthing imprints, our imprints from childhood, but also our ancestral and our collective imprints. So if you're interested, please contact me on my Facebook page, Soul Doula, Julia Cross, Soul Doula Life Coach. You find all the details. I'm sending you much love And yeah, I believe. Yeah, one last thing. It's like, I believe that we really can change in a very short period of time. And I will say it over and over again. I said it for 20 years. I remember sitting there and in front of my family, who at that time thought I'm mad because look at the television. Look what's happening in the world. And I sat there and I said, you know, we can change in no time. We can change everything around. And I tell you why. I still believe it 20 years later, in spite of what's happening here in the world right now. I tell you why. Because it's not the outer world that will bring the change. It is every single human that will bring the change. We are all evolving. We are on the step of evolution. And every human counts. Like for a doula, every baby counts. Every soul counts. Every human counts. And if one person starts, then their environment will change naturally. Because if you heal yourself, your vibration changes, and all around you will change, because you cannot not affect your environment. This is how exponentially everything can change in no time. So let's do this together. Much love from West Cork. And I hope to see you tonight at the Stone Circle. Let's see what the weather is doing.